above your understanding.
From beginning,
That is the God we have trusted in.
there's no place
If you don't trust in that God, come join our league.
by yourself.
And here again, yesterday a news broke.
You've got time
I'm sure that really, shook every Ghanaian.
in your hands.
I am still living in denial,
You called for light out of darkness,
waiting for those forensics, and hoping
and to be the God you are. But you have chosen.
not sure what it is, but hoping that is not what it is.
Oh, you are
From beginning to the end.
to the end.
Whatever it is, we're saying also to the families,
You're a God all by yourself.
it is only God who can comfort them.
You're a God
Honestly, I am,
to the end. There's no place for argument.
You wait for so long, to hear news about your missing child, and then some evening, this is what you're hearing.
And seasons in your hands.
Oh,
You called for light out of dark.
We pray for them to be comforted.
You don't need a man to be the
you
God.
need no other man.
But in your mercy,
In your mercy.
hold on to.
All right, so yes, this is Home Affairs, and our show is just starting. Today our female guest couldn't make it. I won't mention her name, but she couldn't make it. But hey, the men in the studio are well able, and they're not biased people. So rest assured that they're not going to be speaking for men. And no. That's, I think they are even feminists, cry if you ask me. They can't stand it when men maltreat women. So yeah, and vice versa. They are very, very, very balanced human beings. Reverend Kofi Martin, good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, Adam, and good morning to everyone.
And PG Sebastian.
Hi.
Hey, this one they cause trouble for Facebook. As of, do you follow him?
I don't think we're connected.
No.
We're
Hey,
not.
please
Then I
connect
have
to.
to- Okay, sure.
He's a troublemaker.
I like
drama. Oh no, I won't call his drama, but PG. Oh, but you know what? God bless you, and may God continue to strengthen you and give you, more wisdom and knowledge. Because
Amen.
you're doing good, and he
Amen.
does it in a very interesting way. So it's not the kind of counselor who just comes to hit at you and just talking on fun. No,
Okay.
sometimes the stories you read around. The pigeon and everything. You find yourself in some of the super, you go like, oh Charlie, this guy can't. But it's good. I have PG Sebastian and Reverend Kofi Martin with me in the studio. And I mean this is also a launch into our To Be series.
Okay.
We will be having a lot of conversations this month. With regards to people who are planning to get married.
Okay.
The foundation is always critical. We've had conversations about, married people, divorced and all that. Would like also to focus on people who are planning to get married. What should you know? What should you be doing? How ready should you be for the journey? It doesn't mean that once you plan and you prepare, you're good. There won't be challenges. I mean, even in your own life, like I tell, your own, when you wake up in the morning, you even have conflict with your own self. Sometimes just what you want to wear, what to eat. And so definitely, you planning to live your life with somebody, you still would have challenges. I mean, even if you have, whoever it is come to give you guidance, you will have challenges. But those pieces of information you would gather would help you navigate and sail through, and that is why we do these things quite often. So if you're young planning to get married, who pray. We dedicated some months to women, to men, to married people and all. We're dedicating the month of August to speak to people who are planning to get married. So this morning we're taking questions. If you have questions on your mind, something you've been wondering, sometimes because you know people and people know you, you find it very difficult to go tell them, this is what I am going through, because the next minute, Kwesi has heard, Amma has heard. But then, thank God for the power of radio. We're not seeing you. You don't see me, I don't see you. But we can still have these conversations here so that you can get some very good and godly counsel as you journey. Home Affairs is brought to us by Onga, Mama's Helping Hand, Unique Insurance. We're paying all minor motor insurance claims within 2 hours. And as we go on, I'll be telling you about the graphic breakfast meeting. And also about the Ghana World Music Festival 2019. Actually starting tonight. I'll tell you more about it. But our first issue on the table, when was this, Daniela? I think it was on Thursday. Two interesting issues came up. The first one, so the young woman says she's 36 and still not married. Why? She met a suitor. They dated for 3 years, and her parents won't allow them to get married. Mm-hmm. Why? The gentleman wears dreadlocks and has a tattoo. Okay. That is why they will not get married. But I mean, yeah, she said they expressed their displeasure from the beginning when they met him. But she thought that with time they will ease up and then would allow them, because he's a very focused guy. He has his own business. He is a person of faith and all that. So for her, they are okay. I mean, and that's how he wants to look. Mm-hmm. He likes to wear his dreadlocks, and then he has a few tattoos. Not horrible tattoos though, but I mean, one behind his hand, and then another one on his shoulder, and I think one on his neck or something like that. And she says she's okay, but even after 3 years, her parents rejected him, and this was when she was 32. Now she's 36, still very bitter, very angry with her parents, not married. The gentleman has gone on to marry and has 2 children.
Oh, yeah.
And so we just want to find out from her. So yeah, she's I think she's just resigned her fate to say that, look, my parents put me through this and I'm here because of my parents. Broke relationship with them. She doesn't see them anymore, and she's very bitter. But I just want to find out from us, people who find themselves in these situations where your parents, family are, really standing up against the relationship for some of these reasons, really, what do you do? Because she said at a point, I mean, she really was telling the young man that ignore them. We can leave here and go get married somewhere. But the young man insists that, look, you need the blessings of your parents for us to be able to live together. So once they say no, it'll just be like stealing. I've come to their home for something, they won't give it to me, and I forcefully take it. And that's not what he wants to do. And his parents would not even allow him to do that. And so that's how he walked out of the relationship, and she's still there single. How do young people, or how are young people supposed to handle some of these things? Because obviously this lady is, she's bitter, and she's living in bitterness, cut ties with her parents and all that. How do we handle these things?
PJ, you want to start?
All right, okay, sure. So, good morning to our listeners. Adam, I think that it doesn't just
please
start.
let me just announce our WhatsApp line 44340 We are also live on Facebook, and on YouTube. You can also interact with us on all our social media handles, on Twitter, on Instagram, and everywhere. So 0244340437 is WhatsApp. And then, right after these their submissions, phone lines will be activated on 0302216541. PG, please. Go.
Yes, I think that, Adam, it doesn't just start with how these people handle it. I think that it starts from the parents.
Okay.
So just going back into the conversation, I think that the first thing that the gentleman did, the one with the dreadlocks, did, is that he comes across as a very responsible guy, because a guy who is being judged by the way he looks has revealed that he is not how he looks on the inside. He's actually shown respect to the parents by telling the young lady that, you know what, I love you, but I can't steal from your parents. Marriage is not just about me and you.
Exactly.
It's a family thing. It's bigger than the two of us. And I respect that. So if your parent don't want me to be in this picture, then unfortunately you would have to pay for it. But I am not going to get into that picture. So I'm walking out. And he has gone on to marry to prove a point that, you know what, I can actually hold a family together. So I think that it is for the parents to come to this place of epiphany and realize that probably we did our daughter a disservice. And so even if just because we're Africans and parents normally don't go to apologize to their kids and all that, you want to feel big about it, just put yourself in a position where when your daughter reaches out to you, you'll be first and quick to apologize and tell her that, you know what, this and this and this is what we did. We've looked back and we think in retrospect, it's not the best. It wasn't the best decision, and we apologize for it. So that's just the first part. And I think that the second thing is for the lady to go back to the parents, reach out to the parent, because you see, no one gets hurt when you are the one who is bitter, because for your parents, in their mind, they are just thinking that probably we made the best decision for you. And these are all steeped in culture. Okay, where people judge people by the way they look. And dreadlocks, it's not a typical Ghanaian thing. So that is probably the place where the parents are coming from. And then tattoos are not also a typical Ghanaian thing. And we always look at these two physical appearance, or these two things that we put on us, in a very negative or derogatory way. You understand? So the parents in their minds, probably they're just thinking that, well, we made a bad choice for you. You understand? So until the parents come to a place of realizing that what we did was wrong, it will be like an opaque wall. Whatever the girl would do, it won't work. So the parents should come to that place, and the lady should then reach out to the parents and let them sit down and talk about this. The lady shouldn't hold this against the parent, because you see, it's like drinking poison and hoping that the other person will die. That is bitterness. That's what it does to you.
And that's what she is now.
Yes, and it actually messes your whole impression of love and your whole impression of relationships. If you don't fix it, and eventually you even move on to marry, what happens to your children? What do you tell them about your relationship with your parents? If you're unable to reconcile with them, you set a precedent for your children to also get to a place in life where they feel that my parent or my mother did this to me, and it's a just base or reason to cut my mother off too. Because then you would have set the precedent. And if a conversation comes up between your children and yourself, you would have to tell them of what your parents did, for which reason you cut them off. And so then they then think that it's a fair decision to make, if my parents offend me, to also cut them off. So I think that she has to also reconcile with her parents so that it doesn't carry on. But it's a conversation that has to be held. And I think that everybody should be willing to own up to their portion of it, and then, try and fix it. Yeah.
Great. I mean, I'm thinking that they're saying to themselves, I mean, we have this big family gathering, and our first daughter's husband is showing up, and you know that is so.
Adam, good morning again. It's very common for parents to disapprove of the choices of partners for their wards or their kids. And there are times when eventually they've come to realize that they were wrong, and there's been times when they have been proven to be right. And so in a situation like this, I mean, we know that in foreign cultures, it would have been so easy to say that this is my choice, I'm moving on. But in our culture, marriages involve two families. It is not just between you, the two individuals. And that is why we go through the engagement and all the customary things just to bring the two families together. And so the approval of our parents are very critical. In a situation like this, I would say that as a young man or young woman whose parents do not approve of your fiance or someone that you want to marry, try and make a very strong case. One of the things that we don't do very well is speaking to our parents, talking to them, sitting down with them, and having a conversation around very serious matters. Sit down, give them very good reasons why you think this man is a good person and why you think that your marriage to them will be successful potentially. Again, you may not be right. But if that doesn't work, if you can't appeal to the conscience of your parents for them to support you, bring in other people. Approach other elders or people that your parents will respect. Especially in this particular situation, bring in people that you think or you believe are progressive. You may even find pastors or people in your church that are progressive who can see beyond the physical appearance of this young man and make a case to your parents. And I believe once you go through all of these things, at some point, your parents may begin to see that, what you're doing may not necessarily be in your best interest and
just let go.
And just let go. But as PG said, she's at a point where she needs to really go back and forgive her parents, reconcile, and try to detangle herself from the web or the being held up in the past, which may make it very difficult for her to move on and get into new relationships and get on with her life.
But there are some parents who are entrenched no matter what you do.
True.
Their opinions are formed.
Yes.
They think this is not it. This shouldn't be it, and it won't be.
Yes.
Do we always have to let them win if we so believe that this is where we want to be?
Adam, okay.
No, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to even pick on from where he ended, and it's interesting you brought this point out. It's interesting when you think you are going to win, because you see, there is something that they say regarding.
No, I mean, like, do we always have to let
them win when we think that this is where we really want to be?
Yes.
There is a saying that goes like, what an adult sees sitting down, a child might probably climb a mountain and might not see it. So this is where the fear comes in. You understand? The fear of the unknown. Because it always comes to a place of experience. It comes to a place of parents having a hindsight knowledge. And there are certain things that we don't see as young people. And sometimes
sometimes they do these things just because of their own experience.
Yes. So that is where it becomes, not a clear-cut road. You understand? It's a lot of conversation. And like he said, I really like that. It's important for us to sit with our parents and have this conversation. Sometimes your mother or your father may see something that you don't see. But in order for them to protect you, they just give you this blanket order. Cut the person off.
Yes.
I think that we need to have this conversation. Let your mother give you 5 reasons. Let your father give you 5 reasons. Why do you think? And once you have
African parents.
Yes. So you see where the challenge is.
Yeah.
You see where the challenge is when the parents are not even willing to talk about it.
We don't communicate very well.
Most of the time you are talking to your father or you're talking to your mother, and we don't want this person.
Master
it's like
servant or boss.
It's like the jar teacup relationship. Everything comes from the jar into the teacup. Nothing moves from the teacup back into the jar. So your father is telling you, I don't want this guy. And then that's
period.
But you see, it's not fair because we'll come to a place where one day we'll have to sit you down and judge you for the decision that you pushed us into making. So I think that it's only fair for the father to say that, listen, I've been young and I'm old. I see these boys walking around, and that's how it always starts. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. If you think that I am wrong, I want you to just give yourself 2 months. Study this guy. Observe X, Y, Z. Then you know that as a father, you are not just pushing your daughter away, but you're having a proper conversation. So your mother says, I don't like this girl. I just don't like the way she behaves or she carries herself when she comes around.
The way she dresses.
Listen, I'm going to give you certain indicators or certain pointers. Observe it over a period of 2 months. Try and take all your emotions and your prejudices out, and then observe X, Y, Z. And you come back and tell me, Mommy, I think you are right. Then we know that we are having a conversation.
PGC, this advice is for you, myself, or Sofo. Like,
we who are progressive.
Exactly. To become parents.
This
is for us, but the parents that are already made there, who have these minds already, and he says this is it. I mean, I keep pushing us around here because I just want to ask.
Sure.
So, like, I'm asking, and you two haven't answered.
So, Adam, I mean,
do we ever come to a point where
you ignore the advice?
I go like, you know what? my heart says yes, my body says yes, and it is a yes.
Yeah.
And mommy, daddy, I respect you. I love you. And look, I will listen to you any day, anytime. But this is about my life, and I'd like to take this decision. And you go ahead and do it.
Let me share a little experience. It wasn't relationship, but it was something along my life. When I was going to secondary school, I wanted to go to a mixed school for whatever reason. I just wanted to go to a mixed school. But my father wanted me to go to a boys' school. And we had this stalemate. I remember when one day I woke up, my uncle called me. No, he came to visit because back in the day we didn't have telephone. So he came to visit me and said, George, you wanted to go to the school, but your father thinks that it would be good for you to go to this boys' school and become a boarder. You understand? And it will help you. It will shape you. My uncle had a lengthy conversation with me. I wasn't kind of impressed. Then my neighbor, Mr. Kwao, he came in, had the same conversation with me. Then a church member came in, had the same conversation with me. Eventually, I gave up. And then I went to a boys' school. I look back and I have absolutely no regrets. So I think that, Adam, it's a conversation. If we don't talk about it, you are going to feel the way you are going to feel, and probably might lead to rebellion. Because eventually, once it goes out that you've taken a decision against your father or against your parents, and you don't have the buy-in of other relatives. You know, sometimes you can just go ahead and say that, you know what, forget about you, I'm going on to marry. But you realize that all your uncles support you, all your aunties support you. So the only people who don't support you are your parents. There you can actually push them aside and do this because you know that some people support you. But if you don't have their buy-in and everyone else is against you because your father or your parents would have got them on their side, and then sometimes it is good for them to win than for you to go ahead and do it.
So, first of all, Adam, two things must happen. I don't want to say children because when you're about to get married, you're no longer a child. But we need to learn to introduce our suitors to our families or to our parents as early as we can. So that if they have any disapprovals, they would let you know, and then you begin to think from there if there's a chance at all. And then parents should also indicate to their children the things that they don't want to see. I mean, it's not that it's their choice to make, but because you care about your children and you don't want to put them in these uncomfortable situations where they've met someone and they've dated or they've been around for so long, and at the point where they want to get married, now you have problems with ethnicity, you have problems with their spirituality. Exactly. You have problems with their educational level, you have problems with their social status and all of those things. Let your children know as early as possible. Let them know. I mean, they may not be bound to take them, but at least they have an idea that when I meet this person and I'm, at some point I'm going to have to introduce this person to my parents, and this is what they are likely to think. But coming back to your question, when it gets to that point where your parents are saying no means no, you have to be careful, because at the end of the day, especially for women, you want your father to walk you down the aisle. You want your parents to show up at your wedding. You want to get your parents' blessings in your marriage and then their support going forward. Some people have taken a chance where in the end their parents came around. They said, you know what, I'm sorry, this is my choice and I'm going to go on with it, whether with or without your support. And eventually their parents came around. If you have that, hallelujah, good. But when you get into a situation where for the rest of your life, for the rest of your marriage, you're not going to be on good terms with your parents because of the person you chose to marry, it's not an easy thing, and you have to be very careful about that.
So ultimately, we're saying that you necessarily need their buy-in.
Their support. I would say support.
Yes. And so you will have to continue talking.
Yes. Even if it's a reluctant one. They say, well, we say we don't want him more, but if you want to go ahead, at least. That is some support.
Yes.
So you don't walk over them.
Not at all.
And say that, okay, you don't want it. I am going ahead to do this anyway.
Yes.
You will have to. I mean, you said.
Yeah. And you know the dangerous thing? Your spouse-to-be will take a cue from it. They will see that you don't have your parents' support. And so when you're in the marriage and they start to misbehave, they know you have nowhere else to go. And so that's
Exactly.
why it's important that you get your parents' support.
Especially when it is the woman who is like in this
Yeah.
scenario.
Yeah.
If the guy then takes a cue from it and realizes that
Mhm.
nobody is there for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's where it becomes more like divide and conquer. So that you cut everybody off and then they are ruling you.
Yes.
So then
Right.
when stuff happens, you have no one to
Great.
fall back on.
Great. So what it is that you need peace in that marriage.
Exactly.
You need a lot of peace in that marriage. I mean, I don't know how you would feel being married and knowing that your parents may never be able to visit you.
Yeah.
You won't be able to go home with your spouse. There are family gatherings and you can't.
Grandchildren.
Yes, sometimes they don't have a good reason for you to start with.
Yes.
It's a no
Yes.
from the
Yes.
beginning.
Yes.
I remember the first time I told my father that, oh, I wanted to bring someone home to come see him. I am not ready for you to get married.
Even without seeing him.
Marriage saying, I haven't talked about marriage. I am not ready for that. Don't bring anybody to my house. I'm like, hey. Okay, so me too, I blackmailed him. I told him, okay, oh, if you don't find me at home, you don't know where I am. It was just the two of us.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I told him, okay. I mean, you don't want to even see the person.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. If you don't find me at home, you don't know where I am. Okay. I think that got him thinking. Then I think about 2 or 3 weeks. Out of the blue, I was cooking and he was around. He says, what does the young man do?
It means you had been thinking about it the whole time.
I did. The rest is history. Because sometimes right from the beginning, especially so for us women, I mean, your father is afraid to give you out.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
who is this
Yes.
person?
Yep.
How are they going to treat you? So even breaking the news to them. So yeah, sometimes I think that, like you're saying, it's important that accept what they're saying from the beginning, respect it, probably give it a bit more time.
Yes.
Try
Yes.
again.
Yes.
Push slightly here and there. They're your parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
They love you. I mean, somebody shared a story with us yesterday. We're trying to raise her on the line. Daniela, have you gotten through to her? She said I mean, she's married.
Yes.
Okay.
She went ahead to get married because the man she wanted to get married to is away, and her father says,
No.
I been in my
Yeah.
house. That one,
Yeah.
it is a non-starter.
Mhm.
It's not a conversation we can have. So let's not do it.
Yeah.
And she said she pushed through mommy, through whoever, and daddy says no. So, I mean, but then some of the family members understood, like
Yes.
you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she's like, look, this is where I want to be.
Yes.
And so you got a few family members who told daddy that, look, allow her.
Yeah.
And so her uncle had to walk her down the aisle, and she said
Wow.
that the wedding day, her wedding day was like a funeral.
Yeah.
Everybody came there looking very gloomy and quiet. It's like, this is what she wants, so we've just come to support you
Okay.
and all that. And years on, it's been just she and her husband, and she's grateful to God that he's a good man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
Uncle, by this
Yeah.
time, no,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
sure she would have. Because you can't even have conversations with your parents
People
Yeah.
about him.
about your marriage or anything. No,
Yeah.
you're stuck in there. So like Reverend was saying, if it happens that you go into it and I mean you will need family support in
Yeah.
any way,
Exactly.
rest
That's it.
assured that it can kill you.
Exactly. Support
So
with the children.
let's get their support.
Yes.
It's critical. And I think, the gentleman in the first instance did good. If it gets to that point where they are saying no, I think you shouldn't forcefully take anybody's son or daughter.
True.
If something happens, where are you going?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, marriage is complicated. It's beautiful but complicated.
In our culture.
Yeah. This one says, "Good morning. I am planning to marry, God willing, next month. Congratulations to you in advance. But my heart beats anytime I think deep about the marriage." Please, what may be the cause? Is it a red flag to me? I don't know. So I sent him a message asking, what does your heart beat about? Where lies the fear? Maybe. But do you have an idea what could be happening to him?
It could be fear of commitment.
The unknown.
Yes. And the fact that all of a sudden it dawns on him that, wow, I'm going to have to choose one person and spend the rest of my life
But you have
with.
chosen the person already.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or maybe past experiences where, what things that may have happened in his family, in his parents' marriage, and then he thinks that what if this woman does what my father's wife did to him, or what my uncles, so there may be fears that are lingering on in his mind that makes him be concerned or worried about, fearful about entering into marriage.
So how do you deal with this? If all of a sudden your heart is beating when you think about the marriage, and you're afraid, and you find yourself in not so positive thoughts about it, what do you do?
Find out exactly what it is, and then know how to. That's when you will know how to approach it.
I think it's the same thing. I mean, the 50% of the problem is solved when you're actually able to identify what the exact problem is. Then from there, you get to see if you need to seek help, if it is a conversation you need to have, if it is certain things that you need to put in place, and then all that. But I think that naturally there is that tension when you're getting close to getting married. I think I lost about 10 kilos. 10 kilos. I'm not kidding. When you look at my wedding pictures, it's so horrible. Like I grew so lean.
Wow.
Yes, I grew so lean. No, I wasn't scared, but it's just the whole pressure, the whole it's a new thing. It's a commitment of a lifetime.
The financial pressure.
Yes, there's a financial pressure, there is the emotional pressure, there is a social pressure, and then everything.
Whether or not you're making the right choice, the right decision.
On top of it, it's the commitment of a lifetime.
Yes.
And if our wedding vows are anything to go by, it's for better, for worse. Yeah. And it is till death do us part. And even if you are going in with a mind that, as for me, I can't take nonsense, even if you have that mindset, still there is that lingering thing, because you just don't go in and work out. Only few people actually go in and work out. But most people, it's a struggle before they finally decide that I want to work out. So that moment that you are in, that moment that you are thinking about all of that, so all of a sudden you have to, your turnaround time for you chilling with your boys will be slowed down, because now boys can't call you, Charlie, what's up this evening, Charlie, let's meet here, and then you get up, oh yeah, I'm coming. Now there is a madam you need to actually go and seek permission from. Your girls getting up, going for
there's
your
a madam
trips
you
and
need
everything.
to submit to.
Yes, there is a mister you need to seek approval from. So you realize that your turnaround time slows down, your expenditure changes. I remember somewhere 2014, I posted on Facebook. I just got my notification recently, my memories recently. I posted on Facebook that before I married, I was a freak for perfumes. I loved perfumes. Every designer perfume that was launched, I look for it and I buy it. Then I realized after 1 year, after 2 or 3 years of marriage, I had not bought a perfume. Then I noticed, yes, because you realize that your priorities change. The things that matter to you. Back in the day, I used to use every new smartphone that came. Until I woke up one day and realized I was using Infinix. I was like, bro, man.
A friend of mine would be very mad at you.
This is where I was like, this is where I am. Your priorities change, and that can be scary. That all of a sudden you can't do the things you want to do. You can't spend the way you want to spend.
Losing your identity.
If you start having these fears, is it like good enough grounds to say that you probably want to postpone the date?
No, it depends. So like if you're able to point out what the problem is, and you know it's actually a problem, like she said, it's a red flag, then two things. Either you are fixing it and you are moving on, but if you look at the depth of it and you realize that it would take a longer time to fix it, then you may want to shift the date back. But where it's some of these little fears, little uncertainties, giving up a little bit of your privacy to accommodate someone and all that, that's when you just have to talk to someone for them to help you shift your perspective and then readjust to the event that is coming up. And then
so
just
speak to people who are married and then let them share their experiences with you. You may find out that it's a very normal
occurrence.
You not
get married though.
It is true. I mean,
which
that's what I said.
To the right people. Yes,
of course.
I always tell people that it's not everybody you seek counsel from even if they are old and they've been married for 30 years or whatever. Because some people will counsel you from a place of bitterness, their own place of hurt, their own disappointment. So sometimes it's not about the age. It's about the professionalism, the fact that somebody's going to sit you down and talk to you based on the issues at hand, and not based on my own experiences.
So speak to people who are already married and let them share their experiences with you, and then you may learn that what your experiencing is very normal, that a lot of people have been through the same thing and their marriages turned out right. So then that should put away your fears.
So what if you find yourself asking yourself, do I really want to do this? I mean, do I want to do this? And you don't find positive
Peace.
responses, peace and positive responses, even from within, do you still go ahead?
Adam, that may only happen when there are problems
That you haven't dealt with.
that you haven't dealt with.
Then you realize you're getting very close to now being with the person.
Exactly. And so it means that you need to take a step back. Again, as has already been said, what are the issues that have to be addressed, and what can be done to address those issues? And are those issues that have a potential to break your marriage if you don't address and go ahead into the marriage? Some things are very trivial. When I call her, she doesn't answer her phone. You probably can live with that.
But if it will get worse when you get
potentially. But if it's a matter of I don't trust her, there's these other guys who are around and I'm not sure what's going on with them, then you have to be careful. That's a red flag that you really need to take seriously.
Adam, inner peace matters a lot. Because there are so many things that our guts tell us. We are spiritual beings. Take it or leave it. We are spiritual beings. There are certain aspects of our lives that cannot be physically, or quantitatively measured or touched or felt. It's a lot of intangibles, a lot of spiritual movements going on. So if you wake up one day and your guts tells you that I'm not sure about this, and it's not just a one-off feeling where everything is bubbly and then one day you just wake up and then you are this, having this drag, this cold feet and everything, but it's a consistent thing. Periodical, every time you think about this person, the feeling you get is not even a mixed one. It's more of always kind of a cold feet. You feel down. You feel like somebody's, putting a wet blanket on your groove and everything.
That's a red flag.
Yes. Because it could be something you can't put your finger on, but something beyond you is prompting you, and sometimes you don't let that slip.
Yeah. You don't ignore those promptings.
Yes.
Okay, great. 0302216541. You can call us 0302216541. Okay, there's a message here that says, Adam, good morning. Good morning to you. I am in a relationship with this lady, and there is a challenge. I need your help. The lady's dominant love language is time. So it's having time with her. So, her love language is quality time. However, the issue is I am at a distant place and only go to visit her once a while. And so in a bid to make the time up with her, I do call every single day, but always with nothing to talk about. And this worries me because I know phone conversations are the only ways we can keep the relationship going since we are not close. Where is the problem coming from? I don't know what the problem is, because has she said you shouldn't be calling her, or she's not happy with the phone calls? Yeah, I don't. Have you seen any problem?
No, and if you can't speak to her on the phone, what makes you think that when you see her in person, you'll be able to have something to have a conversation around?
Okay, so he's saying that he tries to call every day.
But he has nothing to say.
There are days you call and, oh, hi, how are you? Okay, great. Just checking on you. Isn't that enough?
So, Adam, the thing is, just because her love language is quality time doesn't mean that she wants to spend quality time with just anybody. She wants to spend quality time with you because you are the special one. You're the one that she has chosen. And so you have to fill that space very well by utilizing all the means available. These days as technology, you can use Skype, you can constantly be sending messages, text messages, even if the conversations don't work for you, but you have to make it work. I'm really concerned about the fact that he says that he doesn't have much to say when he calls. Then
so when you're together and you're seeing her every day, what would you be saying?
Exactly.
Or what would you be doing?
Thank you.
Maybe
they would rather be doing than talking, and that's where the problem is.
Adam, you see the challenge we have here, in our culture and among a lot of the younger generation coming up, is that we are not creative in our relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. When we meet physically, if it's not happening, they are just there staring at each other sheepishly, because sometimes you see people. Sorry, I didn't want to bring Facebook here. Sometimes you see people at the mall, and I cringe when I see them, because sometimes you just walk into the mall to buy something, and you see two people who have actually dressed.
They've come to the mall.
Bought food. Sitting opposite each other, and they are all on their phone.
Which one is your problem?
Yeah,
they're all on their phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, can you people sack them from there? Yeah, just occupying space. Just get them out. You know, Adam, I think that we need to be creative. Let's talk about the basic, minutest, mundane things that we go through every day. Sometimes we think that we want to have that big conversation, that huge romantic conversation, that awesome conversation. But Adam, so how was your day? You know, and then talk about it. It shouldn't be, oh, my day was boring. Oh, okay, then you leave it. No, what do you mean by it's boring? No, it's just boring, the same old same. No, what do you mean by the same old same? I mean, like, you couldn't have done the same old same for 8 hours. What happened within the same old same, that 8 hours? Let's talk about it. Let it become the dominant thing that you do, so that every time we are living through that 8 hours, we are trying to make each moment count. Because you know that at the end of the day, we are going to talk about it. That is a basis for conversation. You understand? You talk about it, and then, I mean, you are talking. I hear some sound. What's going on the TV? Oh, it's just this news. What's on the news? I've not even turned on my TV the whole day. Can you just share with me what's on the news? It's a conversation. You get talking. Sometimes the little things that spin off, and then before you know, it was just a little drop, but you've had ripples of conversations around it. But no, we don't. We want to have that romantic, huge conversation, and then somebody will just ask you, "So, what are you wearing in bed?" It's like a conversation. So I think that this guy needs to be a lot more creative.
Yes.
The woman's love language is quality time.
Don't lose your line of thought, eh?
Right.
Let me speak to Jacob. He's paying some bills.
Okay.
Hi, Jacob. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you doing?
I am well. Yourself?
I'm doing good.
Okay, great. We're listening to you.
Please, I'm having some issues that I want some clarifications. It might be a little bit lengthy, but I'll do everything possible to catch it down.
Please, you have 2 minutes.
Okay. I'm married for barely 10 years now, without a child now. But my wife is the type that normally explains our marital issues to pastors. So she ended up telling most of her messages. She can take my phone, I can take hers as well. And most of the messages she sends to pastors is she can feel that that is the man, her husband wants to go out to get a child for himself. And I've been warning her severally. So about some few instances now, I saw some funny messages that one of the pastors sent to her, telling her that she's really missed her. And if she doesn't love her, she wouldn't have been doing the things she has been doing with her as a pastor. So it really gets me very, very angry. And I asked her of it, and she told me it is something that they planned with the pastor, that if I see the message, what would be my reaction? And they went on the conversation. Some of them are voice notes, that if my wife is the one telling the pastor that if care is not taken and she gets pregnant and it happens to be a baby girl and she resembles him, the pastor, then everybody will know what became out of their normal friendship, of which I am not aware. So I confronted my wife. She was telling me, oh, there is nothing bad within it. And also, I called the pastor on phone. I know the pastor. I asked him, and he also said, no. It's something ordinary. But I've tried to swallow this thing for barely 3-4 months now. And day in, day out, this thing keeps tormenting me. And I don't know, I'm not afraid to let the woman go or whatever. So I'm calling this morning to seek some advice. Thank you.
Wow. Jacob.
Yes.
Okay, my first concern is why this pastor would consent to such a plan, if indeed it's a plan.
Exactly.
Thank you. I have all the voice messages. I've sent all of them to my phone. So because I wonder. So I even told the pastor that I told my wife that if it is something planned, I will send all the messages to the pastor's wife, or I will even go to the pastor's wife.
The pastor is married too.
Yes. But the wife went to give birth, so the wife is at the mother's place. So the thing looks very, very funny. Very, very funny to me. And I've tried to swallow everything.
Yeah.
Yes. And if I want to tell or to talk about this, they will ask me who that woman is. I've explained this thing, gave that scenario to a lot of my girl lady friends and some male friends, and they were telling me that, oh no, if the person who did that didn't do it.
But hold on, in telling your lady friends and your friends, do you tell them it is your wife?
I'm ashamed to tell them. I'm ashamed.
Okay.
So I just gave a scenario because most of them confided in me that marital issues and relationship issues and stuff. So I was telling them that I'm having an issue. So I need their opinions on that.
I'm sure my guests have something to tell you. Reverend Kofi Boateng.
Okay.
At this point in time, I want you to bring your reverendness on board because this is
a reverend.
I tell you.
And I'm just hoping that this will not turn into pastor bashing, but pastors are brepa.
Wow.
But anyway, I mean, 10 years of marriage, for these things to be happening, it's really serious, and for him to be considering walking away from the marriage at this point, it's not a good thing to hear. But he talks about the wife being concerned that he will go and have children elsewhere. Is it because he's been threatening her with that? And so if he has, then he has to watch it. Okay, Jacob, are you there?
I'm here.
So do you threaten her that, maybe if you don't give me a child, I'm going to go try elsewhere?
Or
you don't?
Have you done anything for her to feel that way? Have you done anything for her to feel that way? Jacob,
Yes.
are you here?
Yes, please. I'm
Okay, I am asking if you have done anything for her to feel that you might leave her and go have a baby outside.
No, not at all. Let me say this thing clearly. At the early stages of our relationship, she had pregnancy 2 times, and she said she cannot stand the pressure. So she herself went and aborted it.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no.
Whilst you were married?
No, at the early stage of the
At
relationship.
the early stages.
And
I told them, I'm grown up, so I don't care whatever people may say.
Okay, but this
she
is
being the
before.
woman.
This is before you got married.
Exactly. So because of that, I know that, fine, in a way,
It might be a challenge.
Yes, we did certain things, so maybe it's a matter of time. So I've been encouraging her and a whole lot of stuff. And we went to gynae. I spent, because of that, doctors told me that she shouldn't, she's a designer. So she's now only working for these 10 years. I've been taking care of her, doing everything for her. Doing everything. Even now as I speak with you, she's going to school.
Okay. So you know what's going to happen?
That everything.
Let me get to the meat of the thing. So, I mean, from the things that he said, based on the text messages that he's seen, I have a strong feeling that it's either she's planning to have an affair or she's already having an affair. Because why would you be talking about expressing concerns or fears about the child looking like a pastor if you should have children, you know? So it's that, they may be in deep conversations about things they want to do or they're already doing it. And I think they should get help at this point.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
If you won't mind, I have the voice messages. I can forward 1 or 2 for you.
Okay, so here, this is what's going to happen. I'm sure PG has something to say, but this is what is going to happen. Jacob, you want this dealt with, right?
Exactly.
You want your wife, don't you?
Oh, now the way she's doing, the trust itself is gone.
So you don't want the relation, you don't want the marriage anymore?
No, me, if the marriage breaks, I don't care. But she is the person who doesn't want it to break. So I think now she's doing everything possible to make things work.
Okay, let me ask you another question. So why did you call?
Exactly. It's like you're looking for a reason to walk away from the marriage.
Why did you call?
I called to get some clarification that what the pastor said, that their conservation.
Okay, it is not like you called because you want help for your marriage.
Oh, I really need help, but I'm not scared to use her or whatever.
Adam, I think it's a conversation or it's a help we can give probably off air, so
Yes.
that it's important that we actually sit him down and then get to interrogate the issues deeper,
and hear the other side of the story too.
It's in the interrogation that the true picture.
I was actually going together, but I just wanted to find out from him, like, okay, so this, like, that's the line I was towing the line to say that, okay, you called, you need help for the marriage. If that is the reason you called, great. This is your side of the story. We don't know your wife's side of the story. This is
Okay.
not an issue that you can actually just say, this is the solution on
Exactly.
radio and it ends there. Like,
Uh-huh.
we telling this gentleman that be creative and find ways of linking up with this woman, even from a distance, and creating quality time that he should be able to deal with. But this is a 10-year-old marriage. I mean, it can't be judged on radio.
Yeah.
And my only concern is your attitude and your posture, saying that you don't care if it
Exactly.
breaks. You can't be bothered and all that. That is where I have a concern. But if you want help for the marriage, yes, I mean, you can get help. Do you understand? So this is what I'll
I
ask you to do.
understand.
You leave your number with Daniela. Leave your number with my producer. We'll call you
Okay.
after the show and then see what can be done. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's denying everything, and I have all the WhatsApp messages, voice messages, and you could see that if some people are in love, my wife can even send. She sent that message to the pastor, telling him that now you've gotten me stuck in a situation, and I've never gotten a broken heart before. So me, a man, listening to all these things, seriously,
I know.
I've tried
Maybe
to.
she's having an
Jacob.
I'm the one who is supposed to be doing this. I'm the woman, and I need to be doing this.
No, who said men are supposed to be doing
Oh
that?
my dear.
No. Let's not go there. Jacob, we'll call you after the show. Okay.
Okay,
Hang
so
in
I
there.
think-
You've been trying already. Please don't hang up. Daniela
Okay.
will take your number.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
But just in case there is a mix up, 0262. Are you there?
I'm here. All right.
0262
0262
87
87
47
47
07.
07.
Okay, so you call it.
Okay.
We'll get you help.
Okay.
Okay.
Please, is that your personal number?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
Things that happen in our marriages. Now, the graphic business, in partnership with Stanbic Bank, presents the graphic business Stanbic breakfast meeting. What is the issue? Is it poor bookkeeping, high cost of capital, or no or limited opportunities for SMEs? For answers, join the graphic business Stanbic Bank breakfast meeting under the theme Building a National Equity Fund Support. Building a National Equity Fund Support SMEs. Date is 6th August 2019, Labadi Beach Hotel. To participate in this event, please call 02777 39256 or 0242 650 449 or visit graphic.com.gh to register. Partners, Joy Business, Labadi Beach Hotel and Graphic News app. Graphic business setting the business agenda. Stanbic moving forward. Also, get ready for the Ghana World Music Festival 2019, powered by Hits 103.9 FM and Joy Prime TV, and the Year of Return, a weekend of incredible global music at the Fantasy Dome Complex in Accra on 3rd and 4th August, featuring Samini, the Maestro Kujo Intri, Gasmila, Jupiter, and Lamisi from Ghana, reggae band Third World from Jamaica, Grammy Award winning R&B songstress Deborah Cox from Canada, jazz artist Annie Smith, South Africa, and Evan Mayfield from USA. 2 days of incredible music on Saturday 3rd 7 p.m. until Sunday 4th August from 2 p.m. till late. Regular ticket is 80 Ghana cedis, VIP is 150 and VVIP is 450. Ticket outlets: Joy FM, Kokomlimle, Pinkberry, Laboni, Laboni. Okay, Pinkberry, you can find them at Laboni, Spinters, and East Legon. Nyonyo Essentials, American House, East Legon, My Cell Phone Repairs, and ANC Mall, East Legon. Also at Nalem Clothing, Accra Mall, West Hills Mall, Osu Mall, Junction Mall, Achimoto Retail Center, Log on to GhanaWMF.com for more details. The Ghana World Music Festival Fantasy Dome Complex, today 3rd and 4th, presented by the Year of Return with support from Hits 103.9 FM and Joy Prime Television. Again, thanks to Mama's Helping Hand, Onga, and Unique Insurance. We're paying all minor motor insurance claims within 2 hours. Also, the Joy News Habitat Fair opens its first mini clinic today at the Achimota Retail Center from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and tomorrow, Sunday, also from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. This year's edition is bringing together property dealers, insurance, financing, construction, and security and roofing. Please come by with the family. So looking for home, looking for staff to build your home, everything home related. The Habitat Fair starts today, 8 a.m. all through to 8 p.m. at Chimoto Retail Center. This one says, good morning, Adam. I am in the same situation with regards to the topic you're discussing today. Do we even have a topic? The mom of the lady says she won't allow me to marry the daughter because of my tribe. I have been to the house twice to try and see if she will agree, but to no avail. The lady too is also not allowing me to go away. I mean, there was one I heard also. I mean, I heard the lady is threatening suicide.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's like, telling the parents that you either allow me to marry this person or I kill myself. And I don't know what has happened from then on, though. Do we have anybody on the line? So, in a situation like this, what do? She doesn't want you to go. The mother says no. So, like in the first instance, what happens? Should the gentleman just walk away?
In this?
Yeah.
For him, yes. I would say yes.
Okay.
And I don't know how long they've been together and how committed they are to each other. But if your future mother-in-law doesn't want you and you're not married yet, just walk away.
Okay. Hi, Emmanuel. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Emmanuel?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm fine. You hesitated. Are you okay?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. We're listening to you.
I also have a similar issue.
Similar to which one? The gentleman who called?
The tribalism.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I'm in a relationship with this lady, and the dad says he doesn't want a voterian.
What have we done, la? Eh? I don't get it. We're good people, though. All you people out there alienating votarians, eh? God is watching you. What is that? We're proud votarians. We like where we come from. 10 years. If we have to reincarnate how many times, we'll still be votarians. So accept us like that. What is that? Emmanuel, please.
We need everybody.
Emmanuel.
Yeah.
So do you speak away?
Yeah, I speak away.
Chofika.
Macho avatime.
Menga danu mena osia.
Baguyo.
Kake we opo nu mena yase.
Oh, okay. Okay. Mado vegba mi do ye.
Oh, please, menga do vegba. Don't.
Adam, you see why we don't want to marry you? See how you've lost everybody right now? This is part of the reason.
How can you come into my head like that?
You're losing all of us.
Don't my God, that's
Our conversation, you've changed the language.
at least I'm very happy, Emmanuel. We got you smiling through your
Oh my
problem.
goodness.
Oh, okay. The dad's problem is he had a confrontation with one or two Voltarians, and because of that, he's standing on that one that he doesn't want the daughter to bring home any Voltarian.
So it's not like you have done anything, no. Some past experience, be that he has
experience,
had with
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
So every Voltarian has to pay for it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what have you done
Very
so far
unfortunate.
about it?
I've gone to see the mom.
Okay.
I've gone to see the mom.
Is she being
And
supportive?
the mom says she has no problem with that,
Okay.
but she will talk to the husband.
So are conversations ongoing?
Conversations are ongoing, but the man is still insisting. So my lady went to see one of her elders at church, and the elder says like we should give the dad
Some time.
about a month
Okay.
for waters to cool down. Then
Yeah.
after that, if he still insists, then he comes in.
Okay.
So we are praying and keeping our fingers crossed. So
Great. I think you're on course, right? And that's what my guest advised. That get people to speak to them,
Yeah.
and once they, at least you have the mother on your side, and people have consented to speaking to the man.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll add prayer to it, and hopefully, and please, when eventually, because it will happen eventually, when it happens,
yeah,
prove to them,
Exactly.
Exactly.
Prove them wrong.
prove to them that not all Voltarians are like that.
Yeah.
sure.
Are you making us this promise? You and I will have to start a
I-
campaign.
Yeah, I promise. That is
Stop
what I want.
alienating Voltarians now. What is that?
Hashtag.
I tell you.
and Adam, there's something little that I want to add to it. You know, he should try, for as long as the father is not, physically hostile towards him, just that I don't want you. You should just try and be available. Various events, various occasions, be available. When you go there, you should be seen to
Show
be working.
face, show face,
You
show
know, you
face.
should be seen to be serious.
Show face.
In his conversations, in his interactions around, he should sell himself well, brand himself, and then sell it well. Eventually, the man will be sitting back, and probably everybody will be like, "So what's the problem with this guy exactly?"
See, by branding, when you go in for the events, don some red pants on some red carpet. I mean, you people say Voltarians, you love this. That's best, by the way. Come and say what you want to say. Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say happy birthday to you, Mommy. It's my mom's 50th birthday
Wow.
today.
Congratulations.
Eunice Kwashi of Mampo Ekwapim. I love you so much.
Oh, mommy, we love you.
I didn't want to do this for her. She's been on my head. My mom's birthday. So, mommy, happy birthday to you. That was Daniela Edwasari. But yeah, we're touching down. Our time is up. It's been a very hearty morning. Much as we're dealing with people's challenges, we've gone about it in a very interesting way. And hopefully, all these challenges will be solved. And like I said, it's just like the launch of our To Be's month. You'll be hearing from them. I'll find out when they're available. They have a lot of insights. They do a lot of pre-marital and post-marital counseling as well. So send the issues across. Things specifically you would want us to discuss, homeaffairs@myjoyonline.com, or you can send a WhatsApp message to the number I put out there, 0262 874707. We'll bring the issues up, discuss them, and make sure that we're dealing with issues that you're really very concerned about. Your final words before we leave here this morning.
Oh, Adam, for me, I'll just reiterate what I said earlier on. Start early. Introduce your suitors early, and then parents should also warn or let their children know about their concerns as early as possible so that they don't fall into the same places where they don't want them to go.
Okay, great.
And I'd like to say that, the world is changing, so parents, if you are here, try and go beyond this limited perspective or perception about who people are based on how they appear and everything. There are so many people who are not how they look.
Yeah.
Like a song by India Ray says, "I'm not my hair, You understand? So people actually are not how they look. So parents should try and cut their kids slack and try and be open-minded, try and be engaging, be a part of the child's life at the very early stage, so that you get to see their expectations, you get to see where they want to go, who they want to be with, and then guide them. Don't wait for them to bring somebody home and then all of a sudden you begin to dictate for them. But it's a big world now. Try and embrace diversity.
Okay, great. So that's how we end our show on Home Affairs. Let me say thank you to Food 101 for breakfast. You want to contact them on 0244 or 0208175 Thank you all very much for doing the listening. Enjoy your weekend. Next week, we come your way with another insightful conversation. My name is Adam Nightstay. Thank you, Daniela Edwasari, Elizabeth Kutwe Champon, and to you, Dennis Affair. Thank you. We're out of here.